Hi kids, I'm Charlie and thank you for joining me for today's yoga class. Before we start, I'd like to introduce Milky to those who haven't met Milky before. Milky would like to say a special hello to our friend Daphne who's joining us today. And if you'd like Milky to say hello to you in Saturday's class, then please leave me your name in the comments or leave me your name on my Instagram page, Indiv_yoga, and I will give you a shout out on Saturday. So before we begin, as always, we want to make sure that we have a blanket for when we finish at the end of the class. We want to make sure that we have a little teddy or a book that we can balance on our heads for a couple of the poses. Maybe some oil or a bit of cream for when we give ourselves a massage at the end. And if you're wearing socks, let's go ahead and take those off so that we don't slip. Put all of our stuff away. And if you've got long hair like me, let's tie it back so it doesn't get in the way of all of our poses. And we want to put everything away and make sure that the space around us is really clear. There's nothing that we're going to trip on or touch or fall over. So we've got it comes from the country India, which is far away for some of us, but maybe some of you are watching from India. And it's thousands of years old. People have been practicing yoga for thousands of years, but people now all around the world practice yoga because it makes us healthy and it makes us calm. So in India, when we're doing yoga, to say hello, we use the word namaste, and it's the same word as goodbye in yoga. And we sing a little song to remind us of this. So you might know the song already, but let me remind you. It goes like this. Hello, everybody, or in the yoga way, we say namaste. And we put our hands here together at our heart because the word namaste means I give the light in my heart to you. So let's sing that all together 2 times. Hello, everybody, or in the yoga way, we say namaste. One more time. Hello, everybody, or in the yoga way, we say namaste. Wonderful. Okay. So another really important thing in yoga is how we sit. So with our legs crossed, we want to make sure that we don't have a turtle shell for a back. We want to be sitting up really, really tall, really straight back, really straight neck, as if someone's pulling a string from the top of the head up to the sky and you're growing really, really tall. After our sitting position, the other really important thing, as many of you know, in yoga is our breathing. Because as I always say, we can do the whole yoga class without eating, we can do the whole yoga class without drinking, but we can't do the whole yoga class without breathing. Because the air that we take in through our nose is the most important food for our whole body. So we're going to start off with our balloon breathing. And this is a breathing exercise that you can do all day long at all times of the day. So we're going to put our hands on our belly. We're going to imagine that our belly is a balloon with our middle fingers touching. And as we breathe in deeply through the nose, a big sniff, we're going to feel that balloon in our belly get really big. Our fingers come apart. And as we breathe out, the belly goes all the way in and the balloon shrinks back down. So let's do that again. Breathing in. Feel that belly get really, really big, big balloon, and out. Feel the balloon get really small. And again, even bigger this time. Big, big balloon as if it's about to pop. And then, and feel the belly go all the way back. And let's do that one more time. But we're going to close our eyes. And this time we're going to make the exhale or the breathing out really, really long. So let's put our hands on our belly, close our eyes, and a big breath in. and a really long. Lovely. So that's breathing that we can do all day long. Then we're going to do my next favorite breathing exercise, and this is the bunny rabbit breathing. So we're going to put our hands on our head like floppy bunny ears, and we're going to imagine there's a lovely juicy carrot just under our nose, the color of my top. I've worn a special bright carrot top today. And we're going to sniff the carrot 3 times and then say, and as we do the sniff, if you see my hands, we're going to flop them like this 3 times. So we're going to go, and the ears go back up. So 1, 2, 3. So let's do that all together, imagining that big juicy carrot underneath us. 3 big sniffs with the hands. And the ears go back up. Again. And your ears go back up. Let's do that again, but make the really, really long. So ready? 3 sniffs with the hands. Wonderful. So that's our bunny breathing. And now we're going to finish off with the birthday cake breathing. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine your favorite type of cake, your favorite birthday cake. And I want you to imagine the candles on the cake for your birthday. So if you're 6, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles on the cake. And we're going to take a big breath in and we're going to blow the candles 3 times like this. So let's imagine that the cake is just in front of us and we want to blow all those candles up with 3 blows. So let's take 1 big breath in and lovely. Now let's imagine that the cake is a little bit further away. So we've got to do 3 even bigger blows. So a big breath in through the nose. And one more time, let's pretend that the cake is even further away now. So a big breath in. And wonderful. Okay. So everybody, let's start getting our bodies moving. And we're going to start off with our star dance. So we're going to pretend that we're a really small star to begin with. And we're going to hunch ourselves up really, really small, like a small round star in the sky. Small as you can. And then we're going to burst open with our arms and our legs. Really, really wide. And let's do that again. Even smaller star. Hunching up as much as you can. Take a big breath. And then bursting open into a really big star. Lovely. And then let's cross our legs and pretend that our fingers are twinkling stars. And they're going to rise all the way up into the sky as high as you can. Twinkling, twinkling, twinkling. And then we're going to spread them out all across the sky. Twinkling them all the way. And let's do that again. Twinkling forwards, even higher up into the sky now. Really reaching those fingers up and then spreading them out as far as you can across the sky. And then we're just going to twinkle one hand and we're going to spread those stars all across the sky as far as we can to one side. And then we're going to do the other side with the other hand, twinkling those stars all the way to the other. Lovely. And let's do that one more time, twinkling even further this time. And let your neck just flop, twinkling those fingers. And all the way to the other side, twinkling those fingers even further. Let your neck, your head just flop. Lovely. And then twinkling back up. And this time we're going to stand up, twinkling our fingers, trying not to use our hands as we twinkle, and we come all the way up to create a really big star. So we're going to step out as far as we can, pulling those fingers all the way out as if they're trying to touch the walls. And we're going to be shimmering stars in the sky, twinkling nice and bright. And we're going to twinkle our stars by jumping. Twinkling, twinkling, big, beautiful stars, like the brightest star that you can imagine. And let's do it 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonderful. Okay. So next, we're going to do our sun dance, which I know is some of your favourite part of the yoga class, is doing the sun dance. So for those that haven't done it before, we're going to start off doing it really slowly so that you learn the moves, and then we'll do it a little bit faster. And then I'm going to call out the poses to see if you can do them by yourself without me demonstrating. So we're going to start at the front of our mat, and we're going to round our arms like a sun. So our middle fingers are touching, and it's nice and low in the sky to begin with. And then it's going to rise, 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 as high as you can. A really big, round, tall star, a sun rather. And then after our sun pose, we do the rain pose. So we're going to sprinkle our fingers all the way down to the floor. And even if you have to bend your knees, let's touch the floor and imagine that the rain is all over the floor like a puddle just in front of us. And then the next pose in our sun dance is the table. So we're going to jump or hop all the way back, and we're going to be a really straight, strong table. We want our arms straight with our shoulders over our wrists. We want to lift our bottom, and we want to imagine that someone's put a really heavy plate, really, really heavy dish on top of our back. And we're strong and we're straight, and we can hold this heavy plate on our table. And then the next pose is the snake. So we're going to come all the way down. We're going to squeeze our bottom and put our feet together like a slithering snake. And we're going to push ourselves up and hiss like a snake. A really nice long hiss. And then we do one of our favorite poses, which is the puppy dog. So we're going to lift ourselves up, walk our feet a little bit towards our hands, and we're going to waggle our tail, bending each knee and waggling our tail. Woof, 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 woof. You can try to make the sound of a dog, imagining your favorite type of puppy dog. We want to lift our bottom all the way up with really straight arms, and we're pushing our heels towards the floor. Don't worry if they don't touch. And after our doggy pose, we're going to do our floppy teddy pose. So for our floppy teddy, we're going to jump forwards and we're going to flop all the way over. And we're going to have straight legs and just flop at the waist like a floppy teddy, completely floppy, relaxing your head. And then we're going to do the rising sun. Just as we started, we're going to round our hands and come all the way back up. And then we're going to carry on into our rain pose, sprinkling the rain all the way down to the floor, putting our hands on the floor and jumping or hopping back into our strong table pose, really, really strong, lifting your bottom nice and straight. And then we're going to come all the way down into our snake pose, putting our feet together, squeezing the bottom, and lifting up. And then we're going to come into our puppy doggy pose, lifting up nice and high with our bottoms, waggling our tails if you want. And you can say woof, 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 woof if you like. And then we're going to do our floppy teddy pose. Do you remember? We're going to jump forwards and we're going to flop over completely, keeping our legs nice and straight and our head relaxed. And then we're going to finish off as we started, lifting our sun all the way up. And then we're going to do it now a little bit faster. So our sun is nice and high in the sky. And we're going to come down with our rain all the way to the floor. We're going to jump back into our table pose, nice and strong. And then we're going to come down for our snake pose. Feet together, lifting up, squeezing the bottom. And then into our puppy dog pose. Lifting up, waggling our tails as high as we can. And then into our floppy teddy pose. Jumping forwards. Floppy, floppy, floppy. Really soft, like the softest teddy. And then hands together as we come all the way back up. And now I'm going to say the poses and see if you can remember them without me doing them. Ready? From the sun, sprinkling down like the rain all the way to the floor. And jumping into your table pose. Coming all the way down for our snake pose. And then into our puppy dog pose. And then into our floppy teddy pose. And then coming up all the way into our sun. Lovely. And then relaxing the arms by your side. Well done, everybody. That was brilliant. Okay, we're going to come back down onto the mat, kneeling. And we're going to pretend today that we've shrunk really, really small, even smaller than an ant. And we've gone under the grass in our garden or in the park. So we're really small and the blades of grass are all around us. And we're going to go for a little walk through the grass, shrunk really, really small. And we're going to meet a lot of different creatures. And these are creatures that people don't usually like spiders and snakes and slugs. So we're going to see lots of different creatures. And I'm going to show you the yoga pose of all these creatures that people don't really like, but actually can be very, very friendly. So I want you to imagine that you're under the grass, walking along, and you come across a slug, a big, big slug, a friendly slug. So I'm going to show you the slug pose. So we're going to lie down on our mat with our feet together and our arms stretched out in front so that we're a big, long slug. And we're going to roll onto one side. And then we're going to roll onto the other side. And we're going to roll onto our belly and then over to the other side. See if you can hold yourself there. And then back onto the belly and onto the other side. And see if you can hold it really straight. And then back onto the belly and onto the other side. Really stretching those toes and those fingers for your really long slug. And then last time, rolling onto the other side, really, really straight. And then back onto our bellies. And we keep on walking through the grass and we come across a really friendly snake. So a lot of people don't like snakes. And we know this pose already because we've just done it in the sun dance. So we're going to put our feet together. We're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to squeeze our bottom and we're going to lift up. And then we're going to come down and we're going to slither a little bit forwards and come up. And come down and slither ourselves a bit further forwards. Coming up, squeezing your bottom, and then coming down. And one more time, slithering yourself even further forwards on the mat, and a really long hissing. Lovely. So we keep on walking through the grass, and we come across another creature that people don't really like, a giant spider. And he's a normal size spider. If you were to see him now, he'd be just this big. But because we've shrunk so small under the grass, he looks like a giant spider. So let's do the giant spider pose. We're going to sit on our bottoms, and we're going to have our spider legs and our spider arms, and we're going to lift up, and we're going to start at one side of the mat, and we're going to walk with our arms and our legs like a big slow spider, walking along to the end of the mat. And then we're going to turn ourselves all the way around, and we're going to walk like a big spider, lifting your belly up and walking nice and slowly, and then turning around and coming back to the middle of the mat and sitting our bottoms down. And we keep on walking through the grass, and the next creature that we come across that people also don't like because they sting is a scorpion. So we're going to do the scorpion pose. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees like this. We want to make sure that our knees are nice and straight and our arms are nice and straight, so you're not leaning back, you're not leaning forwards. And we're going to raise one leg, point the toe, and make it into our stinging scorpion tail. And we're going to bend it and bring that stinging scorpion tail towards our head. And we can put our head back. Some of you might even be able to touch your toes to your head. And we're really lifting that scorpion tail all the way to our head. And then we're going to put it down. And to move forwards a little bit, we're going to take that leg forwards and lift the other leg and stretch. And you might find that this one's even more stretchy. And maybe you can touch the back of your head, pulling those your toes, your scorpion tail all the way towards your head. And then we come down and we walk a little bit further forwards. And we lift up the other leg again, the first leg, bending the knee, take that scorpion tail all the way towards your head. And then bringing it down, walking a little bit further forwards and lifting the other one all the way up. So close to your head as you can, and then bringing it back down. Lovely. And then we imagine that we keep on walking under the grass and we come across another animal that people don't like very often, which is a rat. So we're going to become a really friendly, nice rat. And I'm going to show you how we do this. We're going to put our arms beside us and we're going to let our head curl all the way down to the mat like a round rat. But we're going to stretch one of our legs back just like the tail, the long tail of a rat. So we're going to let ourselves come all the way down, making ourselves into a rat with a really long tail. And we want to stretch those toes at the back all the way as far back as we can to make a really long tail. And then we're gently going to come up. And we're going to do the other leg because maybe that one stretches even further. So let's stretch that tail. Hello, Milky, have you come to join the rat pose? So what the other leg stretching back and coming all the way down, curling ourselves up like a little friendly baby rat. Lovely. And then we're going to come up. And as we look up into the sky, we see one little creature that everybody doesn't like because they sting as well. And when they sting, it really, really itches. You know which animal or creature I'm talking about? The mosquito. So I'm going to show you how we do the mosquito pose in yoga. So here we're going to need our little teddy or our little book to balance on our head, and we're going to stand up. And we're going to create very, very little mosquito wings by our side. We're going to have our teddy or our book on our head, and then we're going to raise the foot just off the floor. So we're going to keep the knee bent and just create a little mosquito tail like this. And we're going to lean forwards and flap our wings really, really fast. Now, if the teddy or the book fall, don't worry, just pick it back up. It's completely normal that it falls. Every day we have different balance. Sometimes we're a bit better at balancing, sometimes we're not. So we're going to raise that foot up behind us, creating the little tail of the mosquito as we fly, flapping those wings really, really quickly. Lovely. And then we're going to put that foot down and try with the other foot. And if the teddy or the book fall, just put it back on, flapping those wings and raising the other leg, just pointing those toes to the back and flapping those wings really, really fast. Seeing if we can keep the foot off the floor, flapping our wings and keep the teddy balancing on our head. Wonderful. And then coming back down. And we're going to finish off imagining that we're under the grass and we're looking up still. And we look up to a tree, and in the tree we see a sleeping bat. And a lot of people don't like bats. I actually love bats. They're one of my favorite animals. So I'm going to show you how we do the bat pose. And I want you to imagine that you're in the grass and you're looking up, and in one of the trees you see a hanging bat. And bats hang by their feet and they wrap their wings around them. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And we can still use the teddy for this pose or the little book. We're going to lie down, we're going to put our teddy on our feet and see if we can balance it there, or our book, and we're going to lift it up like this, and then we're going to close our wings and see if we can touch our ankles or maybe our legs, and we're going to close our wings and become a hanging bat. And if the teddy falls, don't worry, we can just put it back on, lift it up, see if it stays there, and reach up, closing our wings around our body like a sleeping bat hanging from the tree. Lovely. And then taking the teddy off, and we're going to see if we can roll ourselves up. Lovely. And we can put the teddy or the book to one side. And we're going to finish off with giving ourselves a little massage before we lie down. So if you want, you can use your oil or your cream, but I prefer not to. I prefer to rub my hands together to make them nice and warm. And then we're going to press into our feet with our thumbs, pressing into the bottom of the feet, into the top of the feet, all along the toes, on both of our feet, giving them a nice little massage to help them relax. We're saying thank you to our feet because of everything we do on them. We walk on our feet, we run, we jump, we dance. So we just want to help them relax a little bit. And then we want to relax our hands. So we're going to give our hands a bit of a massage and press in with our thumb to the back of our hands, all along the front of our hands and along our fingers. And the other hand as well, remembering the thumbs, just saying thank you and helping our hands relax after everything they do. Think about it, they pick everything up for us. We eat with our hands holding our knives and our forks. We draw, we play. So we want to shake them out, relax them completely, shake out our feet, grab our blanket and put it over the body as we lie down, shaking out any stiffness in our muscles and letting ourselves flop all the way down like a floppy piece of cooked spaghetti. And we want to relax ourselves, letting our arms and our legs be a bit like a star, opening them up. And we're going to lie down just for a minute and let ourselves relax after all the work that we've just done in our yoga class. All our breathing exercises at the beginning, our balloon breathing, our rabbit breathing, and our birthday cake breathing. Closing the eyes, let's think about our star poses that we did. Imagining yourself as a small star, twinkling stars in the sky, like a big star. Seeing if we can remember our sun dance in our head. So the sun pose, the rain pose, the table pose, the snake pose, the puppy doggy pose, the floppy teddy pose, and finishing off with our sun pose. And then I want you to think, with your eyes closed, of all the different creatures that we've seen. So lying down with your body relaxed, closing the eyes, and thinking about the slugs. All friendly creatures that a lot of people don't like. So I want you to imagine the slugs. I want you to imagine the snakes crawling through the grass, the spiders, the scorpions. I want you to imagine the friendly little rats, and the mosquitoes flying above you. And up above in the trees, imagining the bats, all asleep, hanging from the trees, fast asleep. And then I want you to wiggle your toes and your fingers, shake out your hands and your feet, and roll yourself back up into a sitting position. And Milky has come to join us at the end of the class. Remember to write your name in the comment box if you'd like me to give you a shout out next on Saturday for Saturday's class. And if you want to do this class again, it's going to be up on YouTube for one day. So 24 hours. So everybody, if you've liked this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel, or you can find me or DM me, send me a message on Indiv_yoga on Instagram. So to say goodbye the yoga way, we also say namaste. Remember, it's the same word for hello and goodbye in yoga. So the little song to end the class goes like this. To say goodbye the yoga way, we say namaste. So very similar as the hello song. So let's sing that twice together. Goodbye, or we can do like this. Goodbye, everybody. Or in the yoga way, we say namaste. And again, goodbye, everybody. Or in the yoga way, we say namaste. One more time. Goodbye, everybody. Or in the yoga way, we say namaste. Thank you everyone for joining. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Goodbye. Namaste.